All right, we are recording and we are officially live. We're kicking this baby off. Another roundtable meetup for the Mentorship Masters, the Nolly team, the group that I run right here at EXP. And we are having, hopefully you guys are having fun. I'm having a great time. We're actually celebrating my wife's birthday month, all of March. Her birthday is March 19th, March 19th. But we celebrate the whole month. So last night, we got to go to see a tribute to Janis Joplin. And it was like a night with Janis Joplin type of thing. So it was a lot of fun listening to some of her old hit songs and listening about her life. And can you imagine she was called the Queen of Rock and Roll. She died at 27 years old, 27. And
wow.
Yeah, very, very young. So, I think about so many of these people that come into this realm and they don't fulfill the purpose, the destiny for which God set them here for. And I don't want that to happen to any of you guys. I want you guys to fulfill the purpose and the destiny for which God called you into this realm. So, one couple of tips, guys: make sure that your microphone is muted unless you intend to ask me a question. You can always unmute yourself and ask me a question if you need to. You'll find that your microphone is in the lower left-hand corner of the navigational bar. And then also, if you don't want yourself to be seen, thank you, then there is, I got my elixir, y'all. Look at this. You like that cup? Josie just hooked me up.
Nolly, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Just testing.
Who is this?
Roberto.
Oh, Roberto, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I can hear you. So if you guys don't want to be heard, mute yourself. I can mute you on my end if I need to, but sometimes we forget that we're unmuted, and then we get to talking in the background, and then when we have a big group, sometimes it can be distracting. Now, the other thing that and what's up, Roberto? Good to see you, brother. The other thing is, if you don't want to be seen, there's a video camera, and if you do like this, guess what? It'll block out your video. So now, you won't be seen. So that's up to you. And I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to be seen when they're on these live deals. So what are we going to talk about today? Okay. Oh, by the way, before we get into that, don't forget, this is our book of the month right now, Letting Go. Okay. Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. This book right here, guys, is an absolute gem. Remember, we have a book of the month every single month. I read about a book or two a week, but I'm tasking you guys with reading one a month. Okay. Our last book, which was The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, that one we actually took a couple of months to read, and that is a phenomenal book, guys, that you absolutely want to read. But Letting Go is really, this is the book that really governs the emotional body. And so many, I was just talking to a gal yesterday who's having some issues, and it's the emotional body that's at play with these major issues that she's dealing with. And this is the book right here that will give you freedom from the emotional body. As a child, I grew up in a home where I was abused physically, mentally, spiritually. I went through a lot of abuse. And so what happened as a result of that, my feeling body shut down. Okay, I learned as a child how not to feel because it was a mechanism to keep me safe. But at some point, you've got to come out of the cocoon and you've got to learn to feel. You've got to learn to trust again. You've got to learn to forgive. And this book right here is the one that will absolutely has been my favorite for that. So don't shy away from it. I know it's a big read. It's on Audible. For those of you that like Audible, it's there as well. So that's our book of the month. Every month, I'm not trying to, I'm not just trying to give you guys a little bit of milk. I'm trying to give you meat. And I'm trying to get you to the point where really, honestly, you don't even need me. You're like, what? I'm not even gonna call Nolly. I'm not even gonna reach out to Nolly because you don't need me. that was what Jesus did. You know, Jesus came down to the earth, and he obviously we still need Jesus, right? But when you look at what he did, when you talk about the Jesus method of discipleship, he actually came, he fulfilled a mission, he taught people, and then he's like, man, I'm out. And then he left them to finish the mission. And that's, I'm not saying I'm going anywhere. I'm just saying that, you know, that's in God's hands, but I'm just saying, I want you guys to be able to succeed at your highest level. So let me look, I'm going to open the chat. So we got a couple. Lucas says, howdy. What's up, Lucas? By the way, Lucas, I got your message earlier, and we'll tackle that, buddy. That's really good. Lucas has actually reached out to over 100 different real estate agents. And so he's wanting to figure out how to follow up. Okay. So remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. So we'll hopefully we'll have a chance to talk about that during our meetup today. Pamela says, happy birthday to Miss Josie. Lillian's happy birthday, Josie. Ivan saying happy birthday to Josie. And then Lucas says, trying to get used to being seen, getting ready for the big stage. Good for you. Good for you. And then Pamela's asking who the author is on this. This is David Hawkins. Remember, you can always find the book of the month. Let me show you how to find that real quick. You don't have to rely on me to tell you what it is. You can actually go out to our group. Let me see if I can move. And then, okay, so let me, actually I have a lot of things, floating toolbars on my screen that you guys can't see. That's the reason I'm like, what do I do? All right, so you log in to the Mentorship Masters portal. And this is how you find out what the book of the month is, or how to, like if you just want a direct link to it, you're gonna go all the way down to our resources, and you'll see it right here under knowledge. I think it's under here. You know, I got so much, it's not in here, is it? Is it? No, it's another, it's on tab now. Uh-oh, hold on a minute, guys. Let me put myself in do not disturb. I can see do not disturb. Okay. Okay, where's our book of the month? All right, let's see here. Here it is. See that orange tab right there? It says book of the month. You'll click on that, and then that'll tell you what the book of the month is. I'm trying to follow these in particular order. You can skip ahead if you want to, or if you've already read that book and you feel like you don't want to read it again. I can tell you I've already read Letting Go. This will be my 5th time reading it, and I'm finding some absolute gems. My 5th time in the last 4 years of reading this book. So you can click right here, purchase on Amazon, or you can click to purchase on Audible, you know, right there within the Mentorship Masters portal. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is how to get more listings by creating a free CMA service. Okay, this is a powerful tactic, and it's one of the tactics that I actually left out of Triple My Listings. Every single one of you guys should have. If you don't have this book, you can go to triplemylistings.com. We ship it to you for free. You just pay the shipping. Or you can go to nolly.com. You'll find it there as well, nolly.com. This is 27 ways to generate free seller leads, but I'm going to give you another one today that's right here in this bad boy, Success with Listings. Now, remember, you can download any of my books in the Mentorship Masters portal as well. If you go to the, I think it's under Tools and Resources, you'll see all my books there that you can download as PDFs. You can read them on your iPad or mobile device, whatever. So, but today I wanted to talk about this powerful strategy. Let me see if you could see this. Offering a free CMA service. Okay, see that? By the way, I want to send a shout out to Lillian. She's new to our group, and she's a relatively new agent. And she actually sent me an email with some questions that a lot of new agents have. And so I was able to take that email and create a 15-minute video where I actually answered the email. So with Lillian's permission, I'm sharing that with you guys. It's all right, Lillian? Is it cool? Yeah, all right. So I'm going to share my response to Lillian with you guys because I think that her questions were absolutely amazing. And I was able to really help lead her to because when you're new, guys, sometimes it can feel like, what's next? Like, what do I do? Where am I going next? And I get that. So, but let's get back on track. So offering a CMA service, I'm gonna be putting that video on our workplace group, guys, so you guys can have access to that. So what is this strategy all about? Let me take a sip of my elixir here before I get into it. All right, so now I'm actually going to walk you guys through this. I'm going to walk you through a lot of the psychology behind this, because if you're not doing this, this is a fire idea. This is what, back in the days when I used to rap, my boys, we call them, there's certain ideas, they say, man, that's fire. Or if we came up with a certain lyric, we call it fire. I mean, it's hot. And as I'm going through the book, because I promised you guys that I would go through this book this year, and we're already on chapter, I think we're on chapter 12. We're on chapter 12. Remember last year, if you, and the videos are out there for those of you that weren't with us last year, we went through the first, or the chapters 5 through 10, and it took us 12 weeks to go through it. Actually went through every single strategy in this book. So if you want to know how to get leads, those videos are out there from our previous calls. But now we're already in the part where it talks about offering this free CMA service. So here's what I put. I says, or here's a question that I get sometimes. It says, on my website, I offer sellers a free market analysis. Since I send the prospect a CMA before I talk to them, how do I avoid the price discussion? Because one of the things that I teach you guys, and we talked about in our former, on our previous call together, the one before the last one, was about, we talked about the questions you should ask a person that's calling you to list their home. Okay, and before that, we talked about the CMA, how to create a very effective CMA. So now we're continuing in that theme, okay? And one of the things that I told you guys is that I don't recommend that you discuss price with anybody over the phone, okay? Reserve the pricing conversation until you actually sit down with them face to face. In other words, I don't want you to tell them what your idea of price is until you sit down with them. Now, I do want you to get from them what their idea of the price is. I won't go into that because we spent an hour on the call before this last one going through that. So go back and watch the video if you weren't on that call, where I talk about all the psychology around the questions that you're asking the person before you actually go out to have a listing presentation. But now this idea right here is completely different. So here's what I want you to think about. In your area, remember, I'm teaching you how to become the mayor of your area, okay? You're not just a realtor. Oh, I'm another realtor in the neighborhood. No, I'm the mayor. I'm not just another citizen. I'm the mayor of the area. Just yesterday, I was coming back from an appointment, and I saw this big old SUV, and on the back of it says sheriff. It says sheriff. And I was like, man, that ain't the sheriff. Now, you remember back in the day, like when you had the one horse and buggy town, where you had one person that was a grocery guy and one person that was a blacksmith, one person that was a baker, one gal that ran the general store, whatever it was. And then the sheriff was like, that was the sheriff, right? But nowadays, you see all kinds of sheriff vehicles, right? But just the power of it, it just on the back of it says sheriff. And then it had this big old emblem on the door with the big sheriff star on it. And the guy, I looked at, I was peeking out to see what he looked like. And the guy was looking, boy, he was like, he was setting up nice, like, what's up? You know, he's looking like this, like, what's up? You know, and because he's the sheriff, right? Now, he probably wasn't really the sheriff, but you know, you get what I'm saying. He's probably a deputy or whatever, but he's rolling a sheriff vehicle. And that's how I want you to be thinking when you come into your town, when you step into your circle. Just think about it like this. When you, well, I'm getting excited. When you think about it like this, guys, because this is how I used to play the game. When you're in your area, you make a circumference, okay? Like what you should really do is you should get a map of your territory that you have pledged to dominate Dominate. Let me see if I can find this. I don't know if I have it in front of me here. Um, is this it? No, I don't have it. I want to show you guys something that just popped up in my head. We have, I've got this new, Artemis and I are working on this new initiative. Here it is. Look at this. See what that says? The Dominion Project, okay? It's called Operation Domination, baby. Huh? Grow where you are planted. We're talking about dominating. See, when God created man, he gave us dominion, dominio, okay? Dominion. We have authority over all things. And when Christ came, he restored the authority of mankind back to its rightful place, okay, in him. So here's what you got to understand. You need to have what I recommend. Here's what you do. Take your iPad, your iPhone, whatever it is, and you figure out, you drop a pin on the area that you want to create, that you want to dominate, okay? Don't make it too big because I don't want you to don't get scared. It could be one neighborhood, okay? It doesn't have to be that big. It could be one neighborhood. It could be a half a mile, all right? So you drop a pin and then you just basically, you could be strategic about it and you can make like very specific outline, or you can make just a circle, a circumference, okay? And all you have to do, if you have your smartphone, all you got to do is drop the pen, go to, let me show you how to do it. So right now where I'm at, I'm going to go to maps and I'm going to hit this little icon, you know, the little find me icon. You know what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to see because I got this big old heavy light on me. You know what I'm talking about, the find me thing. It's going to find your location. And then, let me see if I can block this. There you go. So then it's going to say, this is where you are. Okay. Now what you do is you just keep zooming out until you find the exact area that you want to dominate. Okay. Then you take a screenshot of that. You know, you just hold down both those keys. You take a photo of that. That becomes a photo. And then on the photo, you can play with this. You can just get one of your markers. You can make a circle or you can draw around, whatever. Then what you want to do is you want to print that bad boy out. Okay. And then you want to have that on your wall in your office, in your lead generation bunker. So whenever you go into your bunker, see what you're doing is you're manifesting reality. Okay. It's called, it's called the decree method. Dr. Murphy talks about it in Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He talks about this method called the decree method, where you decree a thing and it comes to pass. Okay. These are the tools that God equipped us with when he created mankind, that we just have slipped away. Why? Because we have fallen into what I call organized slavery. Okay. It's alive and well in the United States of America. It's called organized slavery. Now, organized slavery is something that when we come into this system, we come into this realm, we fall into a system that they want to put us in that says, okay, these are the kinds of things that you're going to do. Okay. Instead of just saying, look, what's the will of God for my life? What am I supposed to be doing? And following that. Okay. Most people will find that they're on the wrong path in life. I digress. The point is, you're going to take a snapshot of your area and you're going to say, this is the area that I'm going to dominate. This is what I'm going to have dominion over. Then, okay, what you're going to start doing is offering a free CMA to anybody that lives in that area. Okay. So here's how I say it in the book. So in today's fast-paced environment, more and more sellers or seller prospects want access to quick data. They want to quickly find out what their house is worth. To accommodate this desire, there are many national home valuation websites that have popped up over the years. Indeed, one of the best ways to generate seller prospects is to offer a free CMA. Okay. Now, even though I strongly believe that the pricing conversation between you and the client should happen only after you have had a good amount of rapport. Okay. Now, these are by the way, when people are asking you for a CMA, I'm saying that there really is no rapport there. Okay, these are cold prospects. They're just like, oh, this gal has a free CMA. Let me just go ahead and take advantage of that. But I'm completely in favor of you offering prospects a free CMA as a service. Okay, it's a completely different thing. I'm okay with this approach because your prospects won't attach any negative feelings to you when they receive the market report. It's simply hard data on a report that they requested. Now, if you provide a free CMA service, and you should, okay. Now, if you're not doing this, guys, and I can guarantee you most of y'all aren't doing it. Why? Because you're not playing the game to win. Listen to me. When you play this game, you got in the game. We all get 168 hours a week. Every single person, people call me all the time. Nawi, I know you're so busy. Look, I got 168 hours a week. Donald Trump, 168 hours a week. Okay. Oprah Winfrey, 168 hours a week. We got 168 hours a week, y'all. That's all the time we have. We all have the same amount of time. It's a level playing field when that's concerned. Okay. So here's what I want you to keep in mind. Okay. What are you doing with the time? Okay. What are you doing with the time? Here's the truth. I want you to write this down. This is some wisdom. Let me move my chair out of the way because we about to get to it, boy. This is some fire coming down right now. So here, all right. So the 80-20 principle, Pareto's principle. When you start to study that, you realize that Pareto, when he was a scientist, okay, and he studied this whole thing, that it seemed like 80% of the crops yielded 20%, or 20% of the crops yielded 80% of the results. Okay, so he's like, I wonder if you can take this principle. So he started taking this principle in other places. And the Pareto principle states that 20% of your effort will yield you 80% of your results. Okay, now you may think you know that already, but I guarantee you don't know it. Write this down. To know and not to do is really to not know. Let me say it again. To know and not to do is really not to know. People are like, no, I know that already. Well, I don't think you know it because you're not doing it. If you now you may have a mental ascension to the fact of that, but you don't know it. Here, we're going to take it back to scripture. Scripture says that Adam knew Eve. Okay. It says that Adam went in and he knew Eve. What does that mean? Adam knew Eve. Those are my scripture people. What does that mean? Write it right there in the chat. Let me see what you got. What does it mean? It says that Adam knew Eve. And by the way, there's a lot of scriptures in there where it talks about this person knew that person. What does the word mean? To know. Anybody got any ideas? Sexual relations. That's right. Sita said sexual relations. Charles says that they were the same body. Recognize their role, Pamela says. So Sita hit it. She said sexual relations. To know is intercourse. Okay, that's what it is. We grown-ups here, y'all. We got any kids on the call? Huh? All right, we're grown-ups. That's what it means. To know is intercourse. Now, intimacy, the word intimacy, into me you see. Intimacy, into me you see. Okay, now to know somebody, and this is where Jesus says, he said that certain people came up to him and he said, depart from me, I never knew you. Okay, now when he says I never knew you, he uses the exact same word for knew as when it says Adam knew Eve. You're like, that's weird. Well, Jesus says, I never had intercourse with you. Now you might think, oh, that's nasty. Well, look, this is what we're talking about, guys. When to become like every fiber of your being, to know something is to become it. Like, and when you know something, you automatically do it. Okay. You can't know and not do. So to know and not to do is to really not know. You may think you know, but you don't know. You just don't, right? To know not to put your hand on the stove because you're going to get burned, you ain't going to put your hand on the stove, right? Because it doesn't take you too many times to learn that lesson. Because you learned it, you know it. Okay, all right, so this is the kind of stuff that I want you guys to internalize, okay, and to really, 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 really know. every single one of you guys should be offering this, because this is something that you can do. Doesn't cost you $1 to do it. And most agents aren't doing it. So you can beat them to the punch. You might say, well, Nolly, isn't there a lot of services out there like Zillow where they can get a Zestimate, or they can get, in all these different, yes, there are, but that's completely beside the point, okay? The point is, most people are smart enough to know that stuff is crap. They would rather get it from a real live person that lives in their neighborhood or lives in their area, or that is a specialist in their area, okay? So if you provide a free CMA service, and you should, the trick to converting these leads to clients is in how you conduct the follow-up. Remember, I told you the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? I've heard agents, man, I contacted 15 people. Okay, what'd you say when they followed up? Oh, follow-up? Yeah. How many of you guys did I follow up before you came to Mentorship Masters? Okay, some of you guys I had to follow up for 6-7 months. Some of y'all took a year before you came here, right? Follow-up. Did Uncle Nolly follow up with you? Yes, Uncle Nolly did. Did I just talk to you once and leave you hanging? No, I did not. Okay, so you just follow my example. I follow up. Follow-up is very important. So I recommend that you compile the CMA, or that you put together a CMA. Remember, we did a class 3 sessions ago, and it's out there on the portal, in the portal, on how to do a CMA. So compile the CMA and then do a quick follow-up visit to the house to view the property and build rapport. Okay, you simply need to contact the prospect so you can drop off the pre-listing package, your book, and finalize your CMA. Now think about this. This is where the money comes in with this strategy. Like a lot of agents that are doing a free CMA, all they do is they just do a free CMA. Boom, here's your CMA. They email it to them, done. No, you hand deliver. Let me say it again, because I think you guys are not catching it. You hand deliver the CMA. You know what hand delivery means? That's what you do. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. Now, not only am I gonna show you how to do it, but I'm gonna show you the psychology behind why you do it this way. Because remember, every single one of you guys has access to my complete pre-listing package. Okay, I'm making a mess over here, y'all. My complete pre-listing package, right? You got access to that. It's in Microsoft Word. It's out there in the members area, so you can download that and make it your own. You've got access to my book that I wrote for sellers called Consider It Sold. Charles Lee just finished his book, looks phenomenal. And then other people have done it. Ready, Set, Sold. Here's one, The Complete Guide to Selling Your Home. You know, it's the same book, same stuff inside, but it's your book. So you're going to be, and if you have a good pre-listing video, you know, which we talked about, you should have one. You're gonna drop off all those things, okay, with the CMA. Okay. Now let's walk through how you're going to do that. Okay. So this is really the whole purpose of this. You got to understand everything that I do, there's psychology behind it. And if you just do it without the psychology, you might as well be a robot. Okay. I might as well just say Siri, and then, oh yeah, this is that. It's like, well, that's not what I was really getting to. You know what I'm saying? She'll answer your question, but there's really not a whole lot of personalization behind it. So here's how to set up a quick property walkthrough. Okay. So remember, the psychology behind this strategy is not, you guys think that I want you to do things because I want you to do them, but you got to think behind the thing, right? So the psychology is not because you want to provide them with a free CMA. Think about this for a minute. What is the purpose of doing a free CMA for them? What's the whole point? Oh, Sonia's asking what page are we on? You know, I have different versions of this book, Sonia. So I don't know. One version is 10 pages off from the others because I've actually updated the book. This is the older version of the book. And if you're on the older version, I'm on page 233. If you're on the newer version, just go to the section where it says offering a free CMA. It's in chapter 12. Okay, just scroll. But I have 10 extra pages in the newer version. So I don't have the newer version. I'm not teaching from the newer version today. So Charles said the whole point is to get the listing, okay? To get connected, Sita says, and then to get a new client, to make a sale. Yeah, yeah. So that's good. You guys are thinking great. Lucas is on page 233. What's up? Thank you, Lucas. So it technically it is, that's the end game, guys. But remember, one thing leads to another. Most agents, and let me say this because I think this is very important. Most agents, you know what they track? They track their closings. That is absolutely the wrong thing to track. You never have to track your closings, guys. The reason why most agents aren't successful is because most of them do it wrong, okay? And the reason why, I was able to sell 10, 15 listings a month for 10 years in a row is because there's a psychology behind why you do things, okay? So you don't ever really have to track your closings. You only have to track your appointments, okay? Your appointments, because one thing will lead to another. If you're following my system, the closings just happen. They just happen. It's like, this is one guy put it this way: if you take care of the front door, the back door takes care of itself. Let me say it again. If you take care of the front door, the back door takes care of itself. And the appointments is really the key, because lead generation, it all starts with lead generation, which creates an appointment, okay? But most people just track the closing. But here's what you got to understand. In order to have a closing, you first have to have an escrow, a property in escrow. And in order to have an escrow, you got to have a contract on your property. In order to have a contract, okay, you have to have had a listing. And in order to have a listing, you have to have had a listing appointment. In order to get a listing appointment, you have to have had a prospect, okay? And in order to have a prospect, you have had to lead generate. And in order to lead generate, you've got a time block, period. So if you time block, the closings automatically happen. So all you got to do is work it backward, and you'll see, oh, it was a result of my time blocking that created that. Yes. You know what I do every single day? I wake up, my wife will tell you, I put on my slippers, I wash my face, and I slip on my hat, put on a nice shirt, and I make a video. I do that every morning. How long does it take you, Nolly, to make a video? About 7 minutes, 8, some mornings, 8, 9 minutes, right? And I do that every single morning. I make a video, I make it on my iPhone. I like easy. How many of y'all like easy? Do y'all like easy? Yeah, I like easy. So I have an iPhone, so that's what I use, okay? I make a video, I send it to my video guy, and that's what I do. I do it every day, okay? And I do 2 hours of lead generation every day as well, okay? People are like, how are you building this organization? I time block. That's what I do every day. So getting back to the strategy. Now here's the script. I'm going to walk you through how to do this. For requesting a quick visit. Now, first of all, obviously you'll create this whole free CMA service, and you'll put it out there. You'll maybe have postcards, and you'll do different things that you do to create interest in people getting that free CMA. You'll put it on Nextdoor. You'll do, there's all kinds of ways that you'll do that. Now, once you've done that, you've gotten somebody that wants to get that free CMA. Here's the script, okay? To request a visit. Now, by the way, I never told you guys, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you guys what the whole purpose of the end game here was. The whole end game is to really make a connection, okay? That's it, make a connection. Because if you make a connection, remember, 70% of sellers meet with one agent before they list their home. Let me say it again. 70% of all sellers meet with one agent before they list, okay? You want to be the agent that they meet with, period. Okay, 30% will interview more than one. The average of the 30% is 3. But even if you don't even worry about that. 70% meet with just one. So you want to establish yourself in front of that seller and establish rapport. And the only way you can do that, you can't do it through a computer. You can kind of do it through Zoom a little bit. I can kind of do it a little bit on YouTube, but the best way to do it is face to face. So here's what you do. Here's a script. Hey, Terry, this is Nolly over at the Nolly team. Hey, listen, Terry, I'm finalizing your free home valuation report, and I just need to do a quick walkthrough of your house so that we can get you the most accurate data. Okay, so this is there's every time that I write a script, guys, and this book has 95 scripts, 95 of them. Every time I write a script, there's a lot of psychology behind it. Some of you guys will be like, "Hey, Terry, I need to see your home so I can finish my CMA." No, wrong. Time out. That's not it. Here's the way the big money gals and the big money guys, which you are. This is how we do it. We say, "Hey, I want to get you the most money possible." You want the most money possible, don't you? Yeah, well, in order to do that, I need to have the most accurate data. Oh, that makes sense. See, you give them what they want so you can get what you want. See what I'm saying? They want the highest price. You want the highest price, don't you? Oh, yeah, I want the highest price. Okay, great. Well, in order to do that, I want to make sure I have the most accurate data. So it won't take me more than 3 to 5 minutes tops, I promise. Now, I can swing by tonight around 6 to do a quick walkthrough, and I'll be out of your way. Okay. Now, no, what did I do there? Hey, you know what? I can swing by tonight at 6. I don't mind. I'll be there at 6 o'clock tonight, and I'll go ahead and do that walkthrough. Okay. Now, did I ask for permission? No, I made a statement. Okay. This is, golly, guys, do I have to go? Hold on a second. I might have to show you guys this again. See that? Dominion, baby. We have dominion. We don't have to ask. We don't ask for permission. Listen, if your dad, listen to me, if your dad owns Walmart, he owns a Walmart store, okay? Do you have to ask permission to walk up in there and take something off the shelf? No. We got dominion. Now, I'm not telling you to go to Walmart, start grabbing stuff. That's not what Uncle Nolly teaches, right? But I'm saying you have dominion. This is my world. See, I'm a joint heir with Christ. Everything has been, Scripture says that he owns it all, and I'm a joint heir. What's a joint heir mean? Okay, just try to sell a house that has a joint heir and try to just get one signature. It ain't gonna happen. You need everybody's signature for approval. And guess what? I'm a joint heir. So I come in, I'm saying, hey, you know what? I'll be there at 6 o'clock. I don't mind. By the way, I use that a lot. This is an old script I learned from my mentor, my early mentor, Arnold Solis. And he would always tell me, he said, you know what? I don't mind. See, and this is what I tell my clients. I say, you know what, John, I don't mind. I'll go ahead and come by at 6 o'clock tonight. Done. Okay. Now, what would happen if John can't meet me tonight at 6? What's he going to do? Right? Well, obviously, he's going to be like, oh, well, that won't work for me. Okay. But now, if I ask John, I say, hey, John, can I come by at 6 o'clock tonight? You know what I just did? I just gave him an opportunity to say no. And that's not what we do. That's not what people that have dominion do. We don't give you an opportunity to say no. Okay. It's basically, I'm just informing you of what I'm going to do. That's all I'm doing. Now, if you're not down with it, then you got to let me know. And you have to say, well, by the way, almost nobody, I don't think anybody's ever told me, no, you can't come to my house. Okay. Because the way the question is set up, it doesn't invite that kind of an answer. Right. So it's all strategy. So when I say I'm going to go ahead and come over tonight at 6, the next thing they're going to think, if that doesn't work, oh, well, tonight I won't be home at 6. Oh, you won't? Well, when will you be home? Oh, I'll be home. Okay, great. Tomorrow at 4 then. Done. Okay. Now, if you start asking for permission, and you just lost. Okay. Because that when you have to ask somebody for permission, that puts them in authority. Okay. When I go to listen appointment, I'm the authority. Look, you're the one that has a license. When you walk in a listening appointment, look, I'm there to interview them. Maybe I want to pick up your house in my inventory. Maybe I don't. Let's look and see what we got to work here with. I like this. So I was on a video shoot a couple weeks ago. And some of y'all were with me. Lucas was there. Charles was there. We had Ivan out. We had several of you. Lillian was there as well. We did this video shoot, and we went to this other house that was like, ooh, it was nasty. Ivan went to that one too. And I think Lillian, I don't know if Lillian went to that one. Anyway, this house was bad. So you know what the camera lady asked me? She said, what would it take for you to feel like you would want to list this house? I was like, man, I like that question. As a listing specialist, boy, you know, that's authority. Like you come in like, so here's the question. Let me say it again. What would it take for you to list? Imagine you had a seller like saying, Lillian, please list my house. What would it take? What do we need to do to get you to agree to list our home? Okay. I was on the phone one time with a lady, and I used to use the 2-question close where I would say, hey, John, would you like, you'd like to sell your home, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'd like to sell my home. Would you like me to handle all the details for you? And then I start shaking my head, yes. That's the 2-question close. I don't know if I've ever taught y'all that. You know, Ivan, you'd like to sell your home, wouldn't you? You really like to get it sold, wouldn't you? Yeah. Would you like me to handle all the details for you? Okay. Now, when they say yes, that's done, baby. I call that the 2-question listing appointment. I used to use it all the time. Now, here's the thing. So now I don't even I just walk in. It's just straight assumptive. Every close that I have assumes. Okay. And when I walk around, I'm like, hey, when we get this on the market, here's what we're going to do. Okay. They haven't even hired me yet. Right. But that's a later discussion. We're talking about the CMA here. Now, you can see that even though this book, guys, is 430 pages, it's ridiculous. Most people run away from it because they're scared. They don't want to get involved with something this thick. But the reality is there's a lot of psychology behind everything that I write and the reason I write this. And that's the reason why you guys get the benefit of allowing me to decompress and decompact this stuff so that you can, I don't do it just so you can listen to how I think. I do it so that you can start rewiring your brain, okay? Because you're going to start thinking differently. You're going to be starting to you're going to have your head up a little higher. Instead of you walking on a listing appointment like you're afraid, you walking in like, man, do I even want this listing? That's how I do it now. You know, that's called abundance, guys. When you walk in, I had I'm going to tell you one other story. Let me get back to it. So I had this lady call me, and the people left it in their will. So I met this guy when I was 18 years old. I've known him. I'm 50 now. He just passed away last year. Well, him and his wife put it in their will that when we sell the house, Nolly Williams is going to sell it. Now, they bought this house probably when I was like 15 years old, you know. So I did not know them when they bought this house, but they had that level of respect for me to make it in their last will and testament that I was going to be the agent to get their home sold. Okay. And they passed away at around 80 years old. Okay. So here's the thing. When the executor of the estate called me up, I went out to the house and it's in deplorable condition. Bad, guys, bad. And I actually found myself like, I don't even want that listing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't want it. And they had to kept pursuing me. Like, would you please take this listing? That's what, don't get cocky now. Don't get arrogant, big headed. That's not what we're talking about. It's more of a thing where you want to exercise dominion and feel yourself. Just feel in your meditation time, start to feel what that feels like. Okay. You're not subjugated to anybody, guys. You know, God has a lot of opportunities out there. And if you don't get this one, guess what? He got 10 more lined up. No problem. Now here's the script. Now here's the script with the seller. I told him, hey, I'll be there at 6 o'clock. Okay. And then he comes back and he says, well, we really aren't ready to sell right now. I'm not sure tonight would really even be a good time. Okay. So he just gave me 2 excuses. We're not ready to sell and tonight's probably not good. Okay. So I said, you know, Terry, I completely understand. You know, providing a free home valuation to the residents of Legend Oaks is my specialty. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm getting the highest value possible for you, and quickly seeing your house is essential. Okay. I promise I won't be discussing anything about selling your house. I just want to walk through your house quickly and I'll be on my way. It won't take me more than 3 to 5 minutes. by the way, I can swing by tonight at 6. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's how I answer the question, right? So think about it. He's like, man, dude, I don't think we're really even, look, we're not ready to sell, because he thinks it's a bait and switch. Like I'm baiting him and I'm gonna switch it into a sales thing. No, that's not what you're doing. So he, number one, telling me they're not ready to sell yet. And number two, he's telling me that 6 is not a good time. Okay. So I'm telling him, look, this is my specialty. This is my job on the line, just like you have a job. You got a job too, don't you? Yeah, you got a job. Well, your job is what it is. And my job, I take it seriously. And for the residents of Legend Oaks, for me to get the right value is very important to me. It means a lot to me because my clients here mean a lot to me. And so in order for me to do my job, I need to see your house for about 3 to 5 minutes. Tonight at 6 would work. And I'll go ahead and be by at 6. Mm-hmm. Now, some of you guys this will feel unnatural to you at first, but then you're going to start having fun with it, boy. Once your belief level starts to increase and you start to, like Mina, when Mina came to me, she had been with Keller Williams for 8 months. Nothing against Keller Williams. I love, great company, but she had been there for 8 months, was struggling, wasn't doing well. People were kicking her around, were not really telling her what to do. And so she came over here, and within 3 months, she did what she had done in her previous year at Keller Williams. She did a whole year's of production in 3 months. Now this year, she'll probably make over 150,000 commission in her pocket in her really effectively second year of business. Okay. Why? Because she got to a point where now her head is up high and she's coming in, she's getting the dominion back. Some of you guys lost it a long time ago, and I'm helping you get it back. So now you walk through the house. I see a couple comments here. I'm gonna get to those in a minute. So you walk through the house. So once you get to the house, be true to your word. Okay, this is very important. Quickly walk through the house and look around. Take the pre-listing packet containing your book, pre-listing package, and your video and hand it to the prospect. Okay. Now here's the script. When you get there, hey Terry, it's nice to meet you. Hey, I promise it won't take me more than 3 to 5 minutes. Remember, you're reiterating the promise. This is the third time that I've told this person it's going to take me 3 to 5 minutes. I told him initially, then I told him on the rebuttal, and now I'm there and I say, hey, Terry, man, thanks for having me out to your house. I promise it won't take more than 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Now, for me to walk through your house, thanks again for your time. Honestly, guys, it really would only take 10 seconds because all I wanted to do was shake his hand or her hand, give him the pre-listing package, and that's it. Maybe chit chat a little bit. Hey, you like living here? Done, whatever. They see my face. They look into my eyes, the window of the soul. They see that I'm a real person, and that's it. Done. Mission complete. But I gotta walk through the home like I said I would, and just kind of walk through. You really don't have to walk through a house to get a valuation, guys. You don't. I tell people all the time, homes do not have to be seen to be sold. How do I know? Because for a string there, when Hollis Dean was running my team, we sold like 300-400 houses that I never personally looked at, never saw them. Okay, and we would always get the listing paperwork before we even went out to the house. That's a whole nother conversation. That's another level. Anyway, so the point is that you don't really have to see the house. The point is that you're getting there to establish a rapport. But I'm not telling them that, right? So I say, hey, thanks again for your time. Oh, by the way, I brought you the book that I wrote for folks who are thinking about selling. It contains lots of great information that you and your husband can review together. Okay. So in this case, Terry is a woman, obviously, in my script here. Or maybe not. We never know. So then you walk through the house with a clipboard or your smartphone and you take notes. Now, what's that look like? Now you got your, back in the day, now I just aged myself, but back in the day, I probably still have it. I used to have a clipboard. Yeah, I probably still have it up there. Where I would walk through with a clipboard. Boy, that's old school. That's old school. Some of y'all could never get down with that. So now I just walk through with my phone and I just say, okay, let me take a few notes here. And I'm looking around and I'm making notes. I'm just looking around. Okay, yeah. Making notes, okay. Nolly, what are you making notes about? Nothing in particular. Doesn't matter, whatever. All right, so, but I've already given them the package and then now I'm walking around through their house with interest, okay. Now, I walk through the house with a clipboard, or smartphone, look around with keen interest in a few areas while taking notes. This shows the seller that you are accurate and thorough. Before you leave, try to set a solid listing appointment. Now, remember, we're not there to sell them, but we're not going to leave without making an offer, right? We call that a CTA, a call to action, CTA. By the way, my mentor, Russell Brunson, teaches that you should never make any presentation without a CTA, okay? Now, some of you guys don't even realize that I've already made 2 CTAs in this presentation. Can y'all tell me where they were? Where did I make a CTA? See, put it in the chat. A call to action. I probably made more than 2 actually. Can y'all remember where I made the CTA? You didn't even notice it, did you? To make a video? Yeah, that's just training. Be true to your word. No. So a call to action is where you're actually getting them to take action on an offer that you have. Okay. So that's a CTA. And this is a marketing term. So those of you that haven't studied marketing, you have the advantage of me because I've been studying marketing since I was 18, over 30 years. One of the greatest books in marketing is the 21 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Al Ries, A-L-R-I-E-S, Al Ries. Old school book, very, very evergreen, good stuff. Okay, so you guys didn't catch my CTA. So my CTA was, hey guys, I actually had 2 of them. And by the way, I do these unconsciously. Like I didn't mean to make a CTA. It's just part of how I do every presentation. So I said, hey, if you don't already have Triple My Listings, you need to go to triplemylistings.com or go to nolly.com and get this. It's absolutely free. Okay, you pay the shipping, we'll send it to you. That's a call to action, guys. You remember when I did that earlier? And then a couple of other call to actions where I told you to go get the book, Letting Go. That was a call to action. When I told you that power, by the way, I just made another call to action when I told you about the book by Al Ries, 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. I just can't help myself. I'm making CTAs all the time. Then I told you, hey, if you don't already have this book, you need to go out and get it. That was a call to action. Okay. Yeah. So these are what we call CTAs. You want to get in the habit of incorporating CTAs into your vocabulary. And the reason is because people, surprisingly enough, people will not take action unless you ask them to take action. Okay, you make an invitation. It's the oddest thing, the strangest thing in the world, but people will not naturally just act like you would think like if you just said, hey, I got ice cream, y'all. What's up? I got ice cream. You would think that they would just come get the ice cream. But really, you need a CTA. You need to say, hey, guys, I've got free ice cream, and here's what you need to do to get it. You need to get up out of your chair, come to the front of the room, and grab an ice cream bar. That's a CTA. Okay. It sounds really, really dismally dumb, but people have to have a call to action in order to take action. And now some people will take action with no call. They'll be like, man, I want ice cream, fool. Boom. You have about 10% of the people that just do that. But everybody else it has been really dumbed down, or we've been domesticated, okay, to the point where we have to get permission to do things, okay. Guys, we live in a organized prison system. Okay, don't even get me started on that because we don't have enough minutes left in this coaching call. But we have to. The Homo sapien feels like he has to have permission to do things. Okay. Anyway, that something just came to mind, but I'm going to digress. I don't want to go there. All right, so. Sometimes if the Holy Spirit pushes real hard, I just say stuff. But sometimes I'm like, come on, don't make me say that. I don't want to say that right now. Because I'm just telling you guys the truth. You guys know I love you. I come to you in truth. Okay, so close for the appointment. Okay, close for the appointment. Now here's the call to action. You say, hey, so Terry, I have to say you have a wonderful home. Terry, I got to tell you, you got a wonderful home here. I would love to interview you for the job of getting your house sold. I'm confident I could get you top of market price. Are you available to meet this Thursday at 3, or would Friday at 2 be better? So that's the call to action. So it's like you're on your way. You've done what you said, 3 to 5 minutes. You kept true to your word. And as you're on your way, oh, Terry, I can't even leave without saying this. I would love to get my hands on a house like yours. I do a lot to market homes. You know, our group has sold over 1,000 houses, as you can see on my business card. And I would love to get, are you even thinking about selling? And if you are, let's get together tomorrow at 4 or maybe Friday at 3. Okay. Now, more than likely, they're going to tell you that they know or that they can or whatever. But because you've made a call to action, you put a hook in them. You know about the hook, right? This is a hook. You hook them. Let me back up. You got a hook in them, right? You got a hook. You got a hook in them. And so because you asked, you're excited. You're like, I'm excited about, you know what, Terry, this house is nice. This is one of the nicer ones I've seen in the neighborhood. Ooh, I would love to get my hands on this house. I'm available to sit down with you and your husband tomorrow at 3, or we could even do it Saturday. What's your availability? See, now, and then I just leave it, and they're probably going to be like, well, we're really not thinking, oh, okay. So you just think, but you're going to be thinking about me when you think about selling, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Okay. What are you thinking about selling? What's your time frame? Well, we said we're not going to do anything for 3 months. Oh, 3 months. Well, would it offend you if I follow up with you in about 30 days? Would that offend you? Sometimes I ask questions like that, because they're like, no, I wouldn't be offended. Okay. Well, in the meantime, go ahead and read through my book. Okay. Read through my book. Make sure you go through all my materials that are in there, because it's going to tell you how to get top dollar. That's what I specialize in doing, is getting top dollar for you. And then you make an exit. Okay. So you don't stay there and sell them. You just make a call to action. Okay. Now, if the seller isn't open to setting an appointment, perhaps they aren't ready to sell just yet. Okay. Now, thank them for their time and let them know that you'll be sending their complete market analysis via email. Then email the CMA to the seller as soon as possible using the template below. And this is the template that I put for you guys, that all you got to do is copy paste it. Very, very simple. And it also puts another hook in them, and you set the expectation. Like right here, I put, let's set up a time to meet as soon as you are available. Another thing you could put in here is you can put, as promised, I'll follow up with you on, and you can put the actual date that you're going to follow up with them, or, the week of April 6th, or whatever you put it that way. Now, once you've sent the CMA via email, follow up with a phone call and attempt to set a face-to-face appointment. Now, this is something that that gives you another excuse to call them. Okay. So you just sent the email, and then you want to call them in an hour or two after you send it, or text them. Say, hey, Terry, I just sent that email over to you with the CMA like I promised. I always remind people of my promises. Hey, Terry, like I promised, I just did this. Man, that guy keeps his promises. See, it's language, guys. So you'll see when I email stuff, it's a lot of times when I start an email, I say, hey, as promised, here is, and then I give them whatever it was that I promised them. Okay. Because they're like, man, that guy keeps his promises. That guy keeps your promises. So I say, hey, Terry, did you get the CMA? Oh, yeah, I saw something come through. Well, I know you probably haven't had a chance to review it yet, have you? No, I haven't reviewed it yet. No problem. I know you're super busy, but I tell you what, would you be offended if I call you tomorrow, maybe around 4 o'clock, just so we can review it together? No, that's fine. Okay. Now you just got another invitation to call them again. Okay. So now you're just kind of digging yourself in here into their life. Now, even if the seller says they aren't interested in selling right now, I try to sit down. I try to set a sit down appointment, and a sit down appointment will let the seller know. A sit down appointment with the seller now can help you secure the future listing. So this is like a pre-listing appointment. You don't have to do this, but if you feel like you want to do it, you can say, look, I know you guys aren't even interested in selling for a year, or it might even be 6 months, whatever their number is. But here's what I offer to the community, to people in Legend Oaks. to my community, to the community members here, because I'm the agent here. This is my specialized area. What I offer is a sit-down appointment, about 30 minutes, so that we can review the market analysis together. Okay, it's not a listing appointment. You're not ready to list your home. I just want to sit down with you guys to help you interpret the data. Would tomorrow at 4 be okay, or would you prefer to meet Saturday, maybe around 3 o'clock? Okay, so now you've got another potential invitation. Now they can continue to say no to all these invitations, right? But you're putting yourself out there, because they might say, well, yeah, that would work. You can come and just review the data with us. You could say, hey, Terry, a lot of times this data is very hard to interpret, and it may not make a lot of sense to you. So what I like to do is a free service that I offer to the residents right here in Legend Oaks. I have a free service where what I do is I'll sit down with you for about 20 minutes and just review the data together with you and your husband. I don't mind. I could do that either later on this evening, or tomorrow I could do it at 3 o'clock. How would that work for you? Or instead of saying how would that work, a better closing would be which time would work better for you. You see what I'm saying? You give them a choice. Don't give them an out. All right, guys. So I hope this has been helpful. I know we're at the top of the hour. Somebody asked, is that quick CMA? Is that a quick CMA or a full CMA? Honestly, when you're doing a CMA like this, I kind of would lean more toward a full CMA. Okay. And one of the best tools that I've found to use is Cloud CMA, CLOUD CMA, cloudcma.com. It's a phenomenal tool for making beautiful CMAs that are they're gorgeous. They're really, really beautiful. I don't necessarily recommend that Cloud CMA. Just Google Cloud CMA and you'll find it, Cloud CMA. In fact, let me share this with, let me see. Let me just show you guys Cloud CMA. Yeah, this is Cloud CMA. Just go to cloudcma.com, and the CMAs look absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a Cloud CMA. I used to, I don't really, I mean, they're more for the wow factor. I don't necessarily use them personally, because I'm at that point now where I don't really, I don't need a lot of bells and whistles. Just put it that way. But when you're just starting out, you might feel like you need a lot of bells and whistles. And the Cloud CMA makes you look really, really good. You have to pay for it. We used to get it free at some MLSs provide it for free as part of the MLS service. Cloud CMA. Pamela says, yeah, she's got it through her MLS in California. So sometimes what they'll do is they'll offer it like for free. Like Cloud CMA offered it for free in Austin for like a couple years, and then our MLS dropped it. So now we have to pay for it. HomeBeat in Cloud CMA is a new tool that I use. That's Marcus Branch. Thank you, Marcus. That's good. HomeBeat. They have some beautiful CMAs, and they'll even bring in like neighborhood restaurants, neighborhood coffee shops, and all kinds of stuff you could put in that CMA. I don't recommend you print it out, because that might be a little too. Then again, maybe you might want to print it out, because it will look really good if it's printed out, but it's going to be a lot of pages. All right. So does anybody have any other questions for me? We're actually done with our call for the week. I just wanted you guys to have this strategy. If you have any other questions, any of those of you that need to leave, bon voyage. God bless you. Thank you so much for being part of this, being part of the family and attending. But for those of you that want to stay after class, I'm going to look and see what questions you have, and I'm going to answer those right now. Bless you guys. Have a blessed week. And I know this has been good for you. This is a strategy that every single one of my masters should be doing. All right. So, Sonia, you're stuck on the video. Yeah. So I see what you're saying. So Sonia, Sonia is asking about doing a pre-listing video. Some of you guys have not done your pre-listing video yet, and you should. I mean, you totally should. You nowadays, if I was doing my pre-listing video, I would just use my iPhone wherever I put it. If I could find the thing, I'd use my iPhone, okay? Because you know, with the editing software that's out there, our editor on staff uses Filmora, Filmora. It's a free online video editing software, and there's lots of different video editing softwares out there. But I recommend you get that pre-listing video done. But Sonia's asking, since my video script is 3 pages, it's a pretty long script, and I gave you guys verbatim the script that I use to create my pre-listing video. Don't have to use that. It's just an idea of the kinds of things that you want to talk about on the pre-listing video. How do you suggest? Should I do? She says do 1 page and place it together. So when I did my pre-listing video, and you can actually see it. Let me find it here for you, Sonia, so you can. Let me go back to sharing my screen. So my pre-listing video, let me find it here, because by the way, my pre-listing video has a lot of stuff still about Keller Williams in it. So it does need to be updated. I really don't use mine that much anymore because I'm focused more on teaching you guys more than I am on taking listings. But let me find my list. Austin, here we go. Okay, let me see, is it here? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I can't find it right off, guys, but what I'll say is I'll put out there my pre-listing video just so you can see it, Sonia, or you can just go to YouTube and then Google, let me see, Nolly, it's called Selling Your Austin Home, I think is what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. There, here it is. So Selling My Home in Austin. And then that's the video. Now it's a really, really well done video. It's very elaborate, but to answer your question, Sonia, if I were redoing that video today, I would actually make it into shorter videos. So I might actually have like a playlist with 3 or 4 videos. So I might have one video about, about me, then another video about pricing your home, and then another video about, so there'll be, multiple videos, I think is the way I would do it. Now, when I did that video, I was actually reading a teleprompter. I don't know, you can almost tell because I'm like real stiff. This is back before I was doing video. Hi, I'm Nolly Williams of the Nolly team, and I tried to smile. They were like, smile. Hi, I'm Nolly. Back in the day before I was doing video. So now I just be like, hey, what's up? I'm Nolly Williams, and I can sell your house. I just get crazy with it. But that was back in the day. So I was using a teleprompter when I did that, and then. Literally, by the way, if you guys have a good, let me throw this tip out there. If you guys have a good video editor, you can actually use let me give you an example. You can use a teleprompter. You don't need a teleprompter. You just need to do what they call jump cuts. Write that down. JUMP CUTS, jump cuts. That's what the editor, when you tell them, hey, I want you to use jump cuts when you edit this. So let's say I'm actually doing this chapter, getting your home ready for the market. It says, now we come to the 3rd key element in selling your home, getting it in show condition. So I actually read that while I'm recording, just like I'm doing now. And then I'd say, hey, now we come to the 3rd and most important element, which is getting your home in show condition. Okay, and I go back to read again. Getting your property ready for the market begins with a truthful and honest assessment of your property's current condition. What did that say again? Getting your property ready for market begins with and then you're actually saying, you're reading a line and then you're saying the line, but you're never pausing the recording, okay? And then all the videographer has to do is cut out, man, this is money. You guys are getting some money stuff today. Okay, so all the video guy has to do is cut out the segments where you're reading off camera, and then just jump cut to the pieces where you aren't reading. Okay, I do this all the time, and nobody ever notices it in my videos. When you have a good video editor, they use what they call jump cuts. You could actually go to YouTube and look up jump cuts, and you'll see some examples of how people do that. But that's very easy to do. Okay, so Pamela's asking, is there a list of contents areas for each video? Not sure I understand that. Of each video, how long should it be? So if you're talking about the pre-listing video, Pamela, which I think you're talking about that pre-listing video should be anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes. Mine is 10 minutes because I'm Nolly Williams and I talk a lot, okay? But I say 3 to 7 minutes is really all you need, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to establish rapport and get them to see you before they see you. That's the whole key. When they see you, you could even have a 3-minute video. Hey guys, this is Pamela Healy. I've been in the Los Angeles area for the X many number of years, and this is what I do. Now, blah, blah, blah. You start talking, and then you're like, hey, Mr. Video Editor, I don't like that part I just said. Cut it out. Let me start again. Hey, this is so-and-so, and here's what we do. Okay, cut that part, put this. That's how you actually talk to them. And then when they edit your video, it makes you look great, okay? I got to tell you, there is one of the greatest inventions of video is called editing. Editing. You don't have to nail it. So by the way, we're after class, guys. So those of y'all that need to leave, that's cool. We're just doing an after class thing here. So Ivan says, with a side question, I'm going to order my signs from Build a Sign. Ooh, they have a 50% discount, y'all. Ooh, I like that. They're running 50% off. Okay. Any special advice to put on the sign? Yeah, so like Ivan, for your sign, that's a good question. So let me show you real quick. For those of you that want this, and I'm actually going to be teaching my guy, Chris, not maybe you or Paul, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do this. So by the way, we have an amazing call coming up next week called Niches to Riches, where I'm going to get on with Christoph and Jonathan. We're going to be talking about this phenomenal niche that you guys need to be involved in called Old Expireds. We'll be doing that next Wednesday. But to answer your question, Ivan, we will, if you need us to, we'll design the sign for you. So this is the design that we use. It looks just like this, okay? So it'll have your information here, your website, and then one of the things we put is the more than 1,000 homes sold, okay? Because remember, you guys get to piggyback on, on our success, because at Mentorship Masters, we've sold over 1,000 houses. Let me show you a couple other examples. But in other words, we do have a Mentorship Masters yard sign design. Here's Nick's, to give you an example. That's what it looks like. So this is the Mentorship Masters or the Nolly team yard sign design. So those of you that want to have us design the sign for you, that is a service that we make available. Because why? Because you're in the family, okay? So that's what I recommend. If you saw that, if you want to design your own, this is what I recommend. I use Canva, canva.com, super duper easy. And if you guys want to design your own, I can share with you the link, and then you can design it yourself. You put your name here, then right here it says listing specialist. Then you put the time, and then you have your website here, and then I put like right here will be like list with Ivan. Okay, so that's what you would want to put on your sign. We're doing after class. Okay, so then Pamela says, Pamela's asking, should I make a video for each chapter in the book? No. What I'm talking, so Pamela, if you want to, for your pre-listing video, it's in my pre-listing package, okay? So I can see some of you guys just aren't plugged in yet, and that's good, because I'm figuring out what you guys need to know. So if you go to my Mentorship Masters, you go back to the portal, and if you go to Nolly Tools and Resources right there, click on that, and then you're going to get my Complete Seller Toolkit. Now, in the toolkit is a complete script on doing your pre-listing video, okay? So to do your pre-listing video, there's a complete script in that package that all you got to do is follow that script and you got your pre-listing video. Okay. I was just giving you an example. When I was reading from this book, I was giving you an example of how to create a video using jump cuts technique. Okay. But the script for the video is in my pre-listing package and my complete toolkit, which you have access to in the Mentorship Masters portal. Okay. So hope that makes sense. Okay, so Lucas is asking about that tool. I promised I'd tell you guys to follow up with realtors. And this is what I use, Lucas. It's called Reach. And it's called, here, I'll show it to you real quick. Reach app. So the Reach app is the one that you want. It's called thereachapp.com. Let me make sure this is the right one. Yeah, this is it. So this is what I use, and you can watch some videos around it. Hold on, let me make sure. Is this it? Hold on. Let me just make sure this is the right one. No, I don't think this is the right one. Hold on. There's different Reach apps. So here it is. So this is the right one here. So they have one for for Android and one for iOS, both. So this is for mass text and email blast. Okay, it's called Reach. And with the Reach app, I mean, it's really phenomenal. I love it. So with the Reach app, what I do is I go to Reach. It's right there. You can see it. It's one of my apps. It's right there. See that one that says Reach? Okay. It's right there in green. And then I click on it. And then I add, first you have to add the people to your address book. And then you add them to a group. Okay. So you'll have a group called like prospects or something like that. And then you can create text messages that are individually personalized. So they're not group texts. So every single text will be individually personalized for that person. Now, the cool thing about Reach is as you're sending out, let's say you're sending out to 100 agents that you have personally, discussed the opportunity of Mentorship Masters, the Nolly team, EXP, you've personally discussed with them. As you're sending each of those messages, you have to hit send on each message. So what that does is it allows you to add a extra little note if it's somebody you just talked to the other day, or you want to add, or maybe it's somebody that you say, you know what, I just talked to that person. So you don't send it to them this time. You send it to them. So what I like to do is I follow up with the agents that I'm attracting or recruiting about 3 times a month. So about every 10 days, I like to send them. And it might be something like an article that just came out about EXP, or it might be, hey, this, like for you guys, it'd be like, hey, this is a cool video that my mentor, Nolly Williams, just came up with. This is the kind of training that we have access to every week, or something like that. And then you shoot it to them. Let me know when's a good time to chat, whatever. So that's what I like to use. Now, the whole key though, remember when you're following up with these agents is that you got to categorize them. Are they cold, warm, or hot? Are they cold, warm, or hot? And depending on what their category is, that's going to determine really how you follow up with them. If they're cold means you've never talked to them. Now that you really shouldn't be, for me, I would say that warm and hot leads are the ones you need to go after. You don't want to really promote what we're doing to people that are cold. Okay. Now you could theoretically, there's a way you could do it in that you could invite them to something, or invite them to get a free copy of the book or something like that. But I wouldn't invite them to be part of what we're doing if they're not warm or hot. So a cold person is somebody that you've never talked to, that doesn't know you. Okay. Warm and hot are people that that know you or know of you. Okay. So that's the tool that I use. Ivan's asking how much cost. I don't know what that question's about. If you're asking how much it costs for me to design the sign, it doesn't cost anything, because nothing that I do costs you guys any money. Pat, I think that's what you're asking, Ivan, but when you guys answer these, by the time I get to the next question you have, I've already talked a lot. So be pretty thorough in your question. Ivan says, how much cost? And so I don't know if he's talking about what we just talked about, or maybe you're still stuck on the sign. So you would say, like, how much do the signs cost? You pay build a sign, but you don't pay us to design it for you. Pamela says, would I share the already done signs? Yeah, if you guys want to just go into, let me share it in the chat right here. I'm going to go, if you want to just go straight to Canva and do this yourself, I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to paste it here. So now it's right there in the chat. All you got to do is click on that link and you'll be able to go to Canva and create your own sign just like that. Super easy. Okay, so Chandlin is asking, how do we log in to get those signs? There's nowhere you log in to get signs. When you want to order your sign, we recommend Build a Sign. Okay, Build a Sign is the place that we recommend. And that's where you'll order the signs from. We have a complete video that explains exactly how to order your signs. And that's in the members area as well, where I break down for you how to order your yard signs. Step-by-step video. Okay, I think that's it. Are there any other questions, guys? This is the last chance. We're gonna cut it. All right. So God bless you. Thank you for hanging out with Uncle Nolly. It's been a blessing, and we will see you on the next one. This meeting is adjourned. And hey, if you go out and do the stuff that I taught you how to do, you're going to get success. I guarantee it. God bless, and I love you.